Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the National Pulse program on Millennium TV. We're live on your top set decoders on channel 95. We're also streaming this program live on our Facebook page. It is Millennium TV Zambia. This afternoon on the program, we're looking at the UPND's performance since 2021. And also we do know that the UPND on the 12th of August actually clocked 4 years from the time the people of Zambia decided to vote them in office, into office for them to preside over the affairs of the nation. My name is Lovisa Chilufya, and this afternoon my guest is UPND Deputy National Youth Chairman, Mr. Trevor Mwiinde. Mr. Mwiinde, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Lovisa, and good afternoon to the viewers and listeners out there.
How are you doing this afternoon?
God has been kind, not knowing about you, Lovisa.
Well, I can't complain myself. I'm very well, thank you.
Great.
Mr. Mwiinde, we kick off our discussion this afternoon by talking about the performance of the UPND. Firstly, how does 4 years in office feel for you as Deputy National Youth Chairman and, of course, as member of the UPND?
Well, leadership is a very broad aspect, and coming to think about it, it looks just like yesterday. Yes, it is just like yesterday, and it has been busy quite a lot. We inherited a burden of problems, and leadership and just mankind's duty is to make sure that he has a territorial command over where he is and what is surrounding him. And as a United Party for National Development, we are very grateful initially to the Zambian people for choosing to vote for President Mwiinde on the 12th of August 2021. We are indebted to them, and will forever be grateful for giving us and for giving ourselves an opportunity to be with a leader who is so selfless. 4 years in leadership, we have experienced quite a number of things. We have seen employment of teachers, employment of health workers, and recruitments in many different sectors, including one which was there, which was imparting skills which many people politicized that His Excellency has employed his son. And of course, it's a story that which we can also catch up with as we continue talking. We have also seen impartial promotions amongst the youths, involving them in mining and agriculture. And for the first time in the history of this country, that you can realize that a farmer supplies his maize on a Monday, and FRA depot on a Friday he gets paid. It has never happened ever before, ever since I was born. I've never seen it, I've never heard of it, except under President Mwiinde. To us, the farmers, we say we are so very much grateful. And indeed, many other stakeholders might have also had another story to try and think that the UPND will be able to reduce the price of meal to a 50 kwacha. We found it at 250 kwacha. As it stands now, meal is as low as 230, 190 for Hora meal for ZNS. So I don't know what other politicians and other stakeholders would have to say. We are in a society that which has different observations depending on where one looks. We are looking at a greater picture, which is the country, but we have people that also would want to look at an individual rather than the processes, the achievements that which are being made. We have not seen an impactful CDF, Constituency Development Fund, like what has happened now under the new Dawn administration under President Mwiinde. We have seen lives changing. We have had people that were wishing one day to become just a tailor, a cloth designer, a person to manage to work on a jacket, to manage to work on a trouser. But now it is a dream come true, because we've seen quite a number of them graduating from tailoring schools, being empowered with life surviving skills, We have seen people being empowered with even plumbing skills, carpentry skills, bricklaying skills. That on its own, the advantage, the variable advantage it has is that it will be able not only to empower one person who gets that trade, but it will also be able to help others get employed as assistants. In the long run, also a chain reaction happens to have a society full of people that know what they are doing to build a better country.
Mm-hmm. Right. You speak about issues to do with the prices of mealie meal. You say you found the prices of mealie meal at 250. But are you sure you found the prices of mealie meal at 250, Mr. Mwiinde?
In 2019, in a shop called CRS in Kabompo, Chinyama, the people in Kabompo, Mutondo, Wanzara, they will be able to agree with me. At a certain time in October 2019, we had prices of mealie meal reaching even 300 in Kabompo. In 2019, we had a press conference. We heard, the country heard how the former Minister of Information, Chishimba Kambwiri, spoke about it in February 2020, that national meeting was selling in Lusaka 250. It is in black and white, it is in the social media, it is on Facebook to those that can access it. We are not fabricating anything. We have no reason, Madam Ravisa.
No, you said you found the prices of mealie meal, and that's my question. My question borders on, are you sure you found the prices of mealie meal at 250? Not in 2019.
The price of mealie meal I'm trying to show you that in 2019, the price of mealie meal had already reached 250. Then I don't know what you know much, that we should have probably also advised and guided the viewers so that we move on the same path. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm speaking a year, 2 years before 2021. And we found, the Patriotic Front found the dollar at 4 kwacha 50 ngwe, and they left it at on or about 23 kwacha or 19 kwacha. And as we speak, these are the variable achievements that one needs to talk about. And I want to know, there are people that never thought that certain dynamics can be corrected or controlled. In this country, we have a tendency to try and speak bad about a person, bad about a leader. We need patience. These leaders, they need to be helped. Just like Moses in the Bible was helped to lift up his hand holding the serpent in the desert. So we need to pray for our leaders. We need to wish them well. We also wish you well, the people that are propagating correct information. We wish you well, irregardless of your sitting or standing or who you support. We have no reason as to why we should be malicious in information dissemination.
It's a question. You answered, you said you found the prices of mealie meal at 250. And I was just asking if it's true you found the prices of mealie meal at 250. You took us back to 2019. But anyways, moving forward, Mr. Mwiinde, let us talk about some of the successes of the UPND in the 4 years that you've been in office.
Maybe before we move on forward on the mealie meal aspect, we found that a farmer was being paid for a 50 kg bag of maize, was being paid a poultry 140, 130, 150, if at all he sold to the black market. I'm here today. The farmers may be able to object or disagree with me. In this country, off-season, you can still find a tin of maize costing 250 kwacha, a tin. And yet in a 50 kg, you need 3 tins. Meaning that a 50 kg bag of maize within Zambia, there's no reason as to why people should be killed or taking maize outside the country where one wants to go and sell for 750. It's just a matter of time. There's enough market, there's enough demand within inland Zambia in making sure that the farmer business on the staple food is supported. That on its own is an achievement. There has been deliberate leadership where people's vehicles, people are no longer losing lives. Even on a 1 bag of mealie meal, 2 bags of mealie meal, people are being caged. Their vehicles are being impounded. Others lost colossal sums of money in trying to redeem their properties, and which they lost to the state at that time. So the UPND has brought about sanity. Just about last week, there was a memo or information that which was given to the public that government was to offload excess maize and excess maize processed into mealie meal to neighboring countries. That on its own is business to the transporters, business to the farmers, and also business to the wholesalers and the end users, which includes myself and yourself. So such achievements are rare in a transparent and open way. Government gives an opportunity to its citizens to trade in the staple food, which is mealie meal, maize meal. So that on its own is indeed an achievement, and kudos to the leadership, President Hakainde Hichilema and his cabinet. We thank you.
Right. Earlier on in your submissions, you were saying that people were expecting the UPND to reduce prices of mealie meal to 50 kwacha. Now, is that something that the people of Zambia will ever witness, or it is something that is just going to be left at 230?
It is a far-fetched dream. It has been overtaken by time and events. Even by virtue of me sitting here, there was a time that which the shoes I'm wearing in Kamara, I could buy them for 20 kwacha. There was a time that these shoes increased to 50 kwacha. There's a time now that these shoes, I will need a 1,000 kwacha to buy. So just by the dynamics of what has been obtaining in the country and everywhere across the globe, you would find that Zambia is a fertile ground where other countries come to buy maize because it's even still cheaper and affordable. The farmer for many, many years has had a raw deal, and now a farmer for the first time in the history of this country has had an opportunity to sell a bag of maize at about 340, 350. On that range, on that score on its own, a farmer will be able to sell 3 bags of maize and be able to get fertilizer bag, 1 fertilizer bag. Before, a farmer used to sell 10 to 15 bags in order to afford 1 bag of fertilizer. So farming became a little bit tedious, became a little bit expensive. Many people retired, and retired is probably maybe public officers or private officers into private life of a farmer, and they also retired again, and farming took them to early graves. But now farming is preserving lives, and as such, nobody Lovisa, I must be very categorical and very clear. With all due respect to the citizens, I heard Brother Namanda when he was calling on a phone-in program on one radio station. He said, I'll borrow his words, where he said, there is no one who is going to sit down here discussing about mealie meal, and then somebody's making a decision to cultivate. Somebody's right now toiling the farm in Kasempa, somebody's toiling the farm in Mufumbwe, somebody's toiling the farm in Chipangari, somebody's toiling the farm in Impika. Then you and me are seated here on a television entertaining people, talking about the cost of mealie meal when we are doing nothing. Everybody out to produce. I was glad. I traveled to Wapura. I was glad.
Maybe you advise how everyone can be in the fields and do their farming.
You see, time has come when we need to audit our tables. Just the way you audit your wardrobe, you must also audit your tables. You must question, oh, where did these vegetables come from? Or where did that chicken come from? Where did this beef come from? If at all we are to lead a health and self-sustaining lives, just like the way you would want to decorate this table, the way you would want to bring a cup, you would want to bring a knife, the way you would organize cutlery to the table, we also as citizens, youths especially, for the sake of development of our country, the countries that which have developed, Madam Lovisa and our esteemed viewers out there, countries that which have developed, they produce, and what they produce, they also make sure that they consume it. And that on its own creates a balanced economic state of affairs. The extra or the surplus of whatever they produce, they are able to export, creating foreign currency for that particular country. Given an example, you have businesses that which are flourishing in our country, entities and enterprises that which are flourishing in our country. I may not name them because I'm not here to demean or maybe to disenfranchise them from an opportunity to make money, that are non-Zambian enterprises, and we are busy supporting them because we have not grown in a traditional cultural way of making sure that we produce enough. Production is never an insult. It's just like an encouragement to a pat on the back to tell somebody, your child, that work hard at school. We all ought to work hard in order to make sure that our country develops.
When the UPND was promising the people of Zambia that they would reduce, you would reduce meal to 50 kwacha, what strategies were you looking at?
I don't know whether you and I sit to qualify to question that, answer that question, because that was in 2006. I can imagine that you were probably at school. 2006, at that time, the bag of meal had also its own value. Yes, and probably by and large, I became independent in 2001, and the variables they were looking at was to increase production, and that has worked. Production has been there in this country, Zambia, where it's visible for everybody to see. The writing is on the wall. You can go to Ruapula, you'll find that many heaps of maize are along the road on the depots. You go to Northern Province, the same. You go to Northwestern, I was amazed as I was trying to do my warm-up trip to Rikumbiri Amize. I found that even in Manyinga, where people eat cassava, there is a lot of maize stockpiles. So we want to believe that UPND's campaign promises, which happened about 20 years ago, you want to hold them accountable now. You are not being realistic as a journalist. You are not being realistic as a citizen.
But these were your promises, Mr. Mwiinde.
A promise that which was made on the basis of consumption.
Meaning you changed.
Let us make a promise on the basis of production. UPND has scored on the side of production. So if you would want to attack UPND, attack it on the side of production. Mines were closed, they are resuscitated. Others, they were closed as old beyond my age, 47 years ago. So if you would want to talk about achievements of the new Dawn administration, let's talk from the end of production. Are we failing on the side of... I know where human beings operate. It's not everything that which works out perfectly. There will always be trails of success and as well as signatures of failure. Yes, we may have appended to a promise.
You call it an attack. I'm not attacking you.
No.
You raised the issue of the 50 yourself when you started your submissions. So I'm only asking you questions based on what you're saying.
No, Madam Robisa, there is no attack at all.
That's what you said, Mr.
Nothing is
I'm not attacking the UPND. I'm only asking you based on what you're saying, Mr. Mwiinde.
Well, in as far as I came here, I came ready.
You're the one who was speaking about the 50 kwacha, so I'm only asking you about the 50 kwacha myself.
I came ready, Madam, without jerking, wincing, or tweaking. I will be here to answer your question as far as I am indebted to the people of Zambia to make sure that I elaborate. Yes, so I'm here to answer your question.
All right. Let us speak to the issue of youth employment in your capacity as Deputy National Youth Chairman. How do you think the UPND has performed with regards employment, around the youth? Because we know that in as much as the UPND, from the time that you took over office, you've tried to employ as many youths in the country, there's still a gap and there's still youths out there that are crying for employment.
Thank you very much, Madam Rovisa. In this country, just on Friday, His Excellency the President took time to go and commission some officers that were passing out under ZNS recruitment. In this country, there is a tendency to try and trivialize things that which are meant to improve our lives. When we were born, we just heard a story that there was life skills impartation or transfer through Zambia National Service, compulsory Zambia National Service training. When I look at President Hakainde Hichilema, I want to compare him with our founding father, who is President Kenneth Kaunda, may he so rest in peace. Why am I saying that? President Kaunda took his children to ZNS. We had the Colonel Wezi Kaunda, Colonel Major, Panji, all that. Those titles, they got them from Zambia National Service, which was compulsory. So when you look at our leaders that probably are worshipped, probably are also very much supported for reasons that which are best known by yourselves and others. I'm not accusing you, but I'm just speaking and as a person that is from another entity. So when you look
when you say
at
from another entity, exactly what do you mean?
Oh, I'm saying from another entity. I'm affiliated to UPND, so I wouldn't want to accuse you that you are also affiliated to UPND. You are a media personnel. Yes, you are from this entity, this TV station. So when you look at Kaneo Panji Kaunda, Major Wezi Kaunda, and all those titles, they didn't come because Kaunda wanted to train his children to take over the country. Those people went to Zambia National Service to equip themselves with the harsh realities of life and how they can also acquit themselves diligently as and when they met such things. Trust me, Rovisa, we are all human beings. We can be perfect at some certain times. We are imperfect in certain areas. But President Hakainde Hichilema, he experienced free education. We have had 6 presidents in this country before him, except for Kaunda. None of them decided, they all tasted free education. None of them decided that he should bring about free education. The UPND promised during its campaigns that we shall bring about free education. Look at it, Lovisa, from where I stand. Free education came as if it was not enough. He said, okay, look, we will also make sure that there will be no examination fees. To making sure that we went to school. In our days, I think I met 1 or 2, 3 friends that could not sit for their exams because their fathers could not pay exam fees. I don't know about your experiences. But looking at it that way, President Hakainde Hichilema and his cabinet and leadership said, okay, no, it will not be enough if we are to only do this for the pupils, the learners. Let us also make sure that we increase the number of teachers so that we reduce the ratio of pupil-teacher ratio. That was done. As if it was not enough, the new Dawn administration looked at the tertiary, the universities, the 2 public universities. It was only the University of Zambia and Copperbelt University in Zambia, which were receiving funding to deal with meal allowances. Now the funding has gone to all 7 public universities in our country to making sure that there is stubbornness and a proper investment in the education sector to assure the future that we are coming ready and prepared. We are not going to go back to a future where a storyteller will come and would want to just think that only him has a vision that which will understand. The new Dawn administration, through President Hakainde Hichilema, has proven that what we said we are doing and acquitting diligently, unless things that which are associated with nature. Because where nature is concerned, even friendships break down. But what about nature, natural causes that which are beyond your ability and my ability to deal with? Just out of greed, out of egocentrism, even homes break down. People divorce, people separate. Then what about droughts? A report which was given to this country, thank God we have produced enough. And the world is there to see, the citizens are there to see, and thanks to you, the farmers. The production came out of massive awareness campaigns. We sat on this television, we went to radio stations, encouraged the farmers to persevere, not to eat the seeds as others were advising us. But we made sure that we followed the messages of making sure that each and every citizen had a backyard garden. And in that, we are passionate as a country to make sure that we drive a narrative where each and every citizen, including yourself, my friend Rovisa seated here, you must be an advocate or an enabler in an environment where there are no people that are able to do it, to making sure that you motivate others in producing, rather than using our mouth. Let us also train to use our hands to make sure that we start auditing our tables. It's high time that we audited our tables, as much as we can agree that there is fashion and style in society. As much as we can agree that there is demand for people to be fed, we can also be able to look at ourselves and question ourselves that where are we getting the variables wrong by making sure that we increase the production, rather than what we just saw this year. By God's grace, rains coming, including me as Trevor Mwiinde, with a good price of maize. I'm encouraged to make sure that I should produce more. I met, just out of the interest, I can quote one of the former Patriotic Front senior leaders. He knows himself, a very senior and sensitive position. We met in Rhodes Park at one place, we were having breakfast. He tells me that, oh no, look, I'm having a farm in Rufwanyama. In 2011, I did this hectarage in this. He knows very well, a very senior established PF member. He tells me that, look, Trevor, with this maize price which has been increased like this, I know in hapa so, ndea mkulima hapa kuruso that ndea mkuponye fimu tindefo kwa wati, ibala liandili kureko so that next year, and in fact I'm even doing winter maize. That was a PF. 20 PF in a very sensitive position. Yes, a leader. You can, the country may not even, I don't want you to cyber wars and cyber crimes. I don't want to cite somebody. Yes, so I would leave it in anonymity so that at least he knows that I also respect the conversations we had with him. Yes, he tells me, look, my brother, you sell 3 bags, what endram above 1 pin, then wafunyo tuli 1,000 tuma bags awe pari wino. Awe tapari po inchi to inga chirapa, because us as retirees, that is our backbone. So the achievements of the New Dawn administration is by making sure that it has had a holistic listening ear to the cries of the citizens.
On the issue of youth and employment, Mr. Mwiinde, I believe as Deputy National Youth Chairman for the UPND, you've got a duty to understand the challenges that the youth in the country, are facing, and of course see how these challenges the youths are facing and see how they can be tackled. One of the issues, obviously, that we were speaking to is youth unemployment. We've got a number of youths on the streets of Lusaka in homes, but crying about employment. You're telling us that everybody should get into farming. How does one that doesn't have a source of income even, get into farming?
The conversation about farming, without due respect, thank you, Madam Rovis. The conversation about farming came when we were talking about the Mirimu.
You just spoke to it.
So now, when we talk about youth and employment, there are various sectors. There are youths that are in mining. From the time that I was born to date, from the time that I started voting under President Chiruba to date, I've come to realize that Zambia has had a lot of mineral reserves. And out of those mineral reserves, it's only the New Dawn administration under President Hakainde Hichilema which has allowed a youth to participate, a youth to identify that there are mineral reserves here. Even if we have had the Geological Survey Department of Government, excuse me, and the cadastre, who have had information about the mineralogy, the distribution of minerals in our country, we have had no chance and access to go and even dig, let alone even just a quartz. There are a number of ventures that the Zambian youths have found themselves in. The New Dawn administration allowed other youths to do timber felling. That is a source of employment. The New Dawn administration has allowed majority of our youths to do mining. Of course, mining where you have a license, mining where safety measures are taken and considered, mining where there is a win-win situation, mining where partnerships are also encouraged. We are aware, from where I sit, that there are sites where mining was also halted, which has been a livelihood for the youth. Taking a particular example, taking a leaf from a town like Chingora, due to a number of deaths where people died. And I know, as a youth, a deliberate policy and program is coming up in position to making sure that those challenges are addressed using the local leadership, the provincial minister, the mines minister, and they themselves, the miners, the Jerabo, and they have been sitting on a round table to making sure that amicable, long-term, sustainable solutions must be found to favor the Zambian citizens. You may tend to wonder, Lusaka right now is sparsely populated. Where are the youth? We know as youth leaders, we have youths that are mining in Muchinga under a license called Unicorn. We have youths that are mining in Northwestern Province, different cooperatives. We have youths that are mining in Northern Province. We have youths that are mining in Southern Province. Of course, talking about Southern Province, there are youth licenses that which have not been activated or handed to them, the lithium mining in Kalomo. So in many of these areas where copper, ore, and other associated precious stones, gold, amethyst, are well distributed and well positioned, youths have been made busy. And we are appealing to also most of these investors that would want to hold on licenses that which they are not holding, they are not using, to consider giving consent to our local youths, to making sure that our youths' sources of income are invigorated, and youths are also encouraged to participate in the growth of our economy and in making sure that we have a productive population and doing what is right at the right time. We would not want to see most of our youths only be drained, be taken into prisons, and all. Nobody should count his mouth as a social capital. I'm not here to come and just parrot about the achievements of the UPND. After this program, I have to go and watch my tomato programs. After this program, I have to go and do certain movements somewhere. So as far as I am seated here and concerned, we are working towards personal and national building, because we must be generous enough and honest enough that we must build capacity at individual level before you lead people, especially now that the CDF has been increased. You can fall and become a victim. That waria ikatapoenda ramasha CDF. You went and became a kleptomaniac. You went and stole money for CDF because of hunger. So we want to make sure that even those that are aspiring for leadership roles, positions as council chairpersons, members of parliament, councillors, they are people that are user-friendly to projects and programs that are of personal emancipation, not whereby we hear now scandals coming. And I know that others will fall short of the glory as we go towards 2026, because probably the distribution of those monies on their own has caught up with them in a wrong way.
Right, so allow us to open our phone line and see if we can get a few calls on the program this afternoon. Our dear viewer, the number that you'll be calling us on is 0770813728. That is the number that you'll be dialing to be part of the conversation. We officially open our phone line on the Pulse Nation this afternoon. Do call us, be part of the conversation, and also reach us on our Facebook page. It is Millennium TV Zambia. Leave us a comment in our comment section and be part of the conversation. We host UPND Deputy National Youth Chairman, Mr. Trevor Mwiinde, as we look at the UPND's success and, of course, their performance in there from 2021 up until now, that have clocked 4 years in office. And, of course, we have a few months before we go to the 2026 general election, and just to see what the UPND's outlook on, after 2026 or before 2026, what it is and what their aspirations are before the 2026 general election. Mr. Trevor Mwiinde is joining me this afternoon. You'll be calling us on the number 0770813728 to make your contributions, to ask your questions to Mr. Mwiinde, and of course send us a message to the same number that is on your screen. You can leave us a direct message, send us a WhatsApp, or you can reach us on Facebook, Millennium TV Zambia. Mr. Mwiinde, as we wait for a few more calls now, I know you've been on the ground as Deputy National Youth Chairman, and as I said earlier, that I believe your role is also to look at the welfare of the youth in the country. As from 2021 up until now, what do you think the youths in the country are lacking? Maybe I've spoken to the aspect of youth unemployment, and I believe there are other challenges that the youths are facing. Yeah, the challenges that which the youths are faced with, especially youths that are in small businesses. We have issues to do with people that are doing businesses like welding, businesses like butcheries, hair salons. We have had a challenge with it.
And the challenge with electricity, people want to accuse the new donor administration that, if the government of Zambia decided that, they have signed a contract in 2018, 2019 with another country to supply a certain amount of electricity. And if you decide that you would also want to come and cut the contract, the consequences may be heavier than the amount that which you are receiving as payment. So decisions had to be made, leadership decisions had to be made by reducing the amount of electricity which is exported, and made sure that the Zambians' hours of load shedding are reduced. And that load shedding impact, I must explain to some youths. I come from Southern Province, where we house the Kariba Dam, which is the largest distributor and to Zambia Electricity Supply Corporation, which is our national only system where power is generated from. I want to believe that many people, they have not had an opportunity maybe to see where the Kariba Dam is positioned and what's the state of affairs. It takes 3 rainy seasons, that which are solid and good for the Kariba Dam to have normal water levels. So as it stands, the water levels at the Kariba Dam have not reached what we expected. But I do know that I'm aware, allow me to reach somewhere. I'm aware that the government has had other interventions through the solar plants and all, and they made an announcement to the country that there will be no more load shedding, or load shedding hours will be reduced to about 5 or 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So that on its own, the details are with the power utility companies. Now you can cut me short.
Right. But my question to you was, you're saying that it takes about three rain seasons for the water at the Kariba Dam to increase steadily. But how do you explain Zimbabwe, that Zambia is selling power to, saying that they're reducing load shedding hours in their country to about 3 hours? Meanwhile, the country that is supplying them power is experiencing long hours of load shedding, and they attribute this to the steady increase of the water in the Kariba Dam.
I'm not aware that Zambia supplies power to Zimbabwe, because I'm aware, if my geography serves me right, is that there is Zambezi River Authority, meaning that Zambia and Zimbabwe, we share the Kariba Dam. Kariba Dam sits right at the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. So that project, it has got a percentage for the Zimbabwean side and a percentage for the Zambian side.
And how low is our percentage?
That's all I know. Those are details that which probably the ZESCO board chairperson or the ZESCO MD or Minister of Energy would answer.
Right. Let us speak to the challenges of the youths, Mr. Mwiinde, that you are talking about.
I've mentioned that the youths, due to load shedding, we cannot afford to politicize the problems of mankind, unfortunately. We cannot afford to coach politics on everything. Maybe if we spiritualized every aspect of a problem of mankind, we would have found a solution.
Right, allow us to take this call.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Please reduce the volume on your TV or move away from your TV.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, you're through to the program.
Thank you so much.
Tudina wa Mwiinde mkwai. Baku UPND.
Ili push off yoyo nkwe kofie kwa UPND. Yakwe bati ili ashibali bali posta ati naba chitananikane ati naba push naba chita 99% kufintu byo ba promise mu campaign tapadi fire moneka pokwena if you bale chama economy restructuring debt. What do they have to say to an ordinary citizen who's in Mungule, who doesn't even know what GDP means? They are being surprised with how the UPND is praising themselves. Like otelinga ulishana not kuidota Mwiinde alicho chingwete kufini bali
mo bana na mashina ne komletu mina. Hello. All right, 0770813728 is the number that you're dialing to be part of the conversation. And of course, you can reach us on Facebook. It is Millennium TV Zambia. Mr. Mwiinde, I'll let you respond to our caller. And I'm sorry, I did cut you short earlier.
Okay, just as I said, we cannot afford to politicize every problem mankind faces, but maybe we can coat it with spiritual connotations in making sure that we can get a solution or guidance by spiritual powers. We have not seen that the situations the problems which we have in our society, we have more political problems than we have people that are bold spiritually to come out and advise us on how we can unlock certain problems. Or in line with the caller, he's seated, he's quoting, he claims he's somewhere around Mongore. Talk about the dual carriageway. I was alive when they were working on the road from Kitwe to Chingora, the dual carriageway. It took more than 7 years, a stretch of 5 kilometers, 45 kilometers or 60 kilometers. More than 7 years. We were there. I remember one time we were going for campaigns with the former Western Province Minister Richard Kapita, was our vice president. We were going Northwestern. We even witnessed a road accident at night around 22 hours. So I'm aware and I'm alive to the facts that people may not like the leader, but we need to support President Hakainde Hichilema for the robust work that which he has brought and development which he has brought into this country. The debt restructuring is talking about. Would have not seen the dual carriageway being worked. Would have not seen the Masangano, the shortcut, the one shatan of tarmac, the 31 kilometer stretch. It's something that which you cannot even debate about. I don't know where people can get the negative energies to try and even go. As you are in Ndora, the Ndora to Mokambo border post road is being worked on. Yes, so I don't know where people would want to bring about some negative energies on issues that which are pertaining to development. You have seen how the Choma Batoka road is being worked on. You have seen how the CDF has been increased to an amount. Constituency kumienu chira muntu alikwata kumuchikumia awobe n'abareranda. The president said ama roads tabaya panga bwino mu Zambia. So since we have a lot of gravel roads across the country that which are within towns, within the central business districts, so CDF they allocated 3.5 million for diesel alone, since most of the councils had graders and excavators bought. So that on its own is an achievement, because the councils across the country, maybe we can talk about 156 constituencies, maybe 150 or 140, they have got graders. So those graders are there to do the works so that the people can appreciate. The question that man needs to ask is probably the civic leaders and the people that he has in his constituency are not doing their job. So as far as we are concerned, the new Dawn administration, its increase on the CDF has had also an effect on many other sectors beyond individual vision. If he decides to be blind, with all due respect to the people that are disabled, if he decides to be blind, he ought to blind himself from the socio-economic impact that which the UPND has proven itself to be doing very well, including the reduction of the dollar, including the 3 times reduction of the fuel in 3 months. So on its own, the increase in the maize for the farmers that are selling maize that went into farming last year, we would want to advise callers not to be emotional about it. These are national issues. Allah Ichichalo today is President HH, up to a time when God has given him in 2031 he retires. And our generation, your generation, which is your generation, my generation, and your generation together, we hold hands. Let's stop looking at this country in a disjointed and in a fashion that which does not favor unity, which does not favor support of one another. The inclusion type of leadership which President Mwiinde has brought in this country is amazing. He has brought advisors that are useful in State House. Those useful advisors, we are only praying to God that God may also show them to envision and embrace many other youths out there, so that the agenda for the president does not die only within the hands of those that are assisting him.
Mr. Mwiinde, as we come into the end of our discussion, how do you rate the UPND's leadership as compared to probably the previous government or other governments? How unique, and how does the UPND government's leadership style stand out?
Well, in terms of leadership style, today we have freedom of expression, where people have gagged themselves with the statements. And when somebody says accusations are normal under this administration, when you want to talk about people wanting to abuse their liberties, in this studio where we are seated today, Millennium Television, had it been before, you would have had the commanders standing here as their chairman is speaking. Commanders standing outside blocking traffic. The chairman is about to finish from a TV station. The peace that which we have in this country has allowed you, Madam Lovisa Chirufya, and many others, because other people made a decision to vote for President Mwiinde, and fortunately they were in the majority. And other people have also benefited, that they have had an opportunity to have their children employed and empowered, even within the government structures, the recruitments under Zambia Police, the Defense Forces, and teaching and health inclusive. Then me, who has no child, who reaches that age, or who does not hold that criteria in terms of qualifications, age and all other things combined, I should not feel bad. There will come a time the person who has been employed today will also be able to think that there will be other people that will also qualify to be employed at a certain time. So the new Dawn administration has done normally what any other leader who means well to his country has done. To those that are used to show their children dues, President Mwiinde has showed his children, his son, to say, go and learn life survival skills at Zambia National Service. He has not done any crime. To those that are used to speak negative about one another, we have more energy to build this country than we have more energy to follow an individual. The country is larger than you, than me. And we also want to believe that, Madam Lovisa, had it not been for the good policies that which the new Dawn administration has put in place, would have had the studios, radio stations, TV stations closed day in and out, making you lose even the slightest hope to even feature on this program, making you lose even a little that which contributes to buy your bread at home. But we want to appreciate that there is peace and stability in our country, and as such, people should not take it lightly. It came at a cost. Other people who contributed and worked so very hard have not had the time or privilege to enjoy what we're enjoying right now.
Right, Mr. Mwiinde, it's been a pleasure having you this afternoon on The Pulse. Thank you so much for coming through.
I'm humbled, and I will forever be very grateful and thankful for the manner in which Millennium TV takes time to interview us as politicians. Let's contribute to the growth of our country. I thank you. All
right, thank you so much. We come to the end of our discussion this afternoon on the National Pulse program. Deputy National Youth Chairman for the UPND, Mr. Trevor Mwiinde, was joining me as we were looking at the UPND's performance since 2021, as they've clocked 4 years in office this August 2025. My name is Lovisa Chilufia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place. Good day.